everybody. Thanks for coming. So we're going to kick it off and just go through who all these esteemed panelists are and kind of just talk through this panel. And then we have some questions specifically on makeup and then also on some skincare questions too. And then we'll have an ending for Q&A. So go ahead, take it away. Tell us about yourselves. Tell us kind of a little bit of your story and then what you're doing now.
Good morning. Welcome to Simply. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Jade. I've been a makeup artist based in LA for about 12 years. I'm a global brand ambassador for Ardell for about 2. My biggest clients is Revolve Clothing, Forward by Elise Walker. My best friend is Sincerely Jules, so I travel with her everywhere and I do her makeup. So a lot of, my looks that I'm known for, you can definitely see that within Jules's, style.
Hi everybody, I'm Mar. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's sunny, hot, early, so I think I can speak for all of us. We really appreciate you being here. I'm a beauty influencer. I create content in English and Spanish. I started with mostly beauty, but I've transitioned to, I think, everything that's a girl's world. And all my platforms, I have over 12 million followers, so I'm looking forward to talking to you about how I've done that and how beauty has really helped me get there. So, yeah. Oh.
Hi, you guys. I'm Lauren Everett. I'm the creator of The Skinny Confidential. It's a blog, a brand, a podcast, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm really glad that we're in the shade, not in the sun. I'm not going to lie. We're talking about skincare, so glad we're in the shade. The Skinny Confidential started when I was in college. I was bored and trying to find something where I could connect women from all over the world in one space and create like a community where women actually shared all their tips and tricks instead of hid them from each other. So that's kind of how it started. I was bartending, teaching Pilates in Pure Barre, launched the blog 6 years ago, and here we are today. It's really heavy on the podcast right now, and hopefully soon it will be a product line.
Some fans for sure. So we're going to start with the most natural of questions is what do you see trending right now and what are you most excited about in this industry?
For me, I am obsessed with like glitter. So I love that, glitter is such a big trend right now, whether it's like a cool like glitter lip or like glitter eyeliner, or soft like glitter, dab in the middle of the eyelid. It's just it's fun, and like my makeup is super natural, so any like little pop of like color, like a hint of anything fresh and cool, like I love that. So
how do you choose the right glitter, right? Because there's more the warmer tones with like the pearl colors, or you can go more of a cool.
I like.
So how do you choose?
I love like the holographic type glitters because you could kind of top them, like top anything off with them, without like manipulating. Like if you have a really like light eye, you could just put like a dab of it on there and it just adds like a little yellowy, goldy sparkle.
I love that.
Yeah.
For me, it's so funny because it's really interesting how it's so different from person to person. So I do love that little spark of glitter in the eye, but I'm so much about kind of like a very no makeup. I feel like that's beautiful, and it's so funny that you're wearing like 30 different products and you look like, oh, I just rolled out of bed. No, really, it took me 3 hours. But I think that's kind of my favorite look, especially right now.
How do you achieve, sorry, I'm going to ask a little bit more depth with that question. How do you feel like you achieve the no makeup look? Like what is that to you? Like a very like neutral palette?
Yeah.
And when it comes to eyes and lips, or is it just toned back in terms of the definition?
I think it's mostly focusing on face more than like shadows and things like that, and just targeting your problem area. So it's like, oh, really, I have no blemishes, but I do.
So I'm all about skin. I love skin. I talk about it on The Skinny Confidential all the time, and I think that with makeup, it should show your skin. I think it should be super dewy and tight and like plump with collagen. So I really focus on skin, and how I do that is I start with my skincare, and I feel like that transfers through your makeup. When you start with like a dewy palette, it's really easy to maintain that with the makeup. I always talk about oils. I think oils is like the way to prime your skin. It works for me. I know everyone has different skin types, so you have to really look into that. But for me, I start with like a jojoba oil. I love like the organic brand sometimes I will even call room service and ask them for olive oil and literally put it on my face in the morning and let it sit there and soak in. It's so much moisture. And from there, I use this caffeinated sunscreen that I found on Amazon. It's this random brand. If you Google the Skinny Confidential sunscreen, it will come up everywhere. It's this really random, like, white labeled brand. And what the caffeine in it does is it like tightens your skin and pulls everything back, so you have that really pretty palette to put the foundation on. And I feel like you're killing two birds with one stone because, again, I said I'm about skin. I always stay out of the sun, and I feel like when I'm wearing sunscreen under my foundation, it's like a win-win. And again, that just creates that dewy palette for you to put your foundation on. I also love, obviously, a bold brow. I think that a bold brow is super flattering. Of course, obviously, you have to look at your face. I think if you have more feminine features, you can get away with like a super bold brow. And if you have more masculine features, maybe you want like a thinner brow. I always make fun of my husband because I'm always telling him to brush his eyebrows up instead of side because I feel like it lifts your face. So always have an eyebrow brush in your purse. I always have one. It's like we have them everywhere. They're in my car, they're in my purse, they're in our bed. Like, I think it's a great investment to get like a bunch of eyebrow brushes.
Yeah, I cannot like live with eyebrow gel. Like, I have to like use it every day. I use it on every client for every shoot. You know, when I travel a lot, so that's the one thing. Like, when I get off the plane, I just like make sure, like, oh, at least my
Eyebrows
my brows are
check.
done.
And look at your brows; they're flawless.
And then, like, going back to your question, I mean, for me, from a perspective, like creating like a no makeup look, I like to like keep the the foundation really light and just conceal like where needed. I like to like really highlight the high points of your face so that really pops out and brings dimension. A little bronzer and a little highlighter, maybe a little tinted lip balm, and that's all you need.
So that segues us into the next natural question, I guess, is what products can you not live without? So when you talk about highlighting and contouring, besides these nice misters.
Cannot, again, without my brow gel. I cannot live without mascara. I think that's one thing. Like, if I was on a deserted island, I would bring a mascara. Like, because when you're tired and your lashes look great, you just look awake and you just like feel pretty. Like, I can't live without a good red lipstick and a really good nude.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've noticed too, you did the mascara on both top and lower lashes. I feel like that really makes a difference.
Yeah,
just
it's
like
like
pulling it
eye-opening.
Yeah, for sure.
Little trick.
For sure.
I love a lot of mascara in the center of the eyes.
Oh, yeah, I agree with the mascara. I think and it's also, I love products that you can kind of multi-use. So for me, I would go with concealer and mascara. Can I pick two?
You can pick as many as you want to.
Then maybe also lipstick. So, because concealer, you could just kind of build it up. Yeah. And so this happened maybe like a month ago, and I lost my bags in Europe for like 3 days, and I had nothing. I only had like the little makeup I had in my carry-on. So I had concealer, lipstick, and mascara. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna line my eye with a little bit of this mascara. The concealer was pretty much my foundation, and the lipstick, thank God it was pink, so it was blush. And I feel like it's really useful, so you could just like kind of play with it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be used where it's like meant to be. I'm really a big fan of that. Sometimes it's better for somewhere else. I discovered like this lipstick was amazing as blush. Everybody was like, "What blush are you wearing?" I'm like, "Wow, it was good."
My top three, probably I would start with primer. I think it's so underrated. I think it makes your eyelashes 10 times thicker. I would rather not put on mascara without primer. The one that I like right now is actually super cheap. It's like $7.99, not 70, at the grocery store or like drugstore. It's L'Oreal. It's Voluminous, I think. Voluminous? And it's double tube. So like there's primer on one side and mascara on the other side. So you start with the primer. You obviously brush up. You curl the lash. You prime again. And then you put your mascara on. So you have this like really beautiful base to go off of. If you can't tell, I love a good base. And then I also love drugstore lashes. We were talking about this earlier. The Ardell Wispies. I like the number
113.
Yeah, 113. She knows. Love drugstore lashes. I think they're like the best of the best, and I feel like they open my eyes as opposed to weighing them down and creating like a smaller eye. I want to open.
Definitely change the look like within seconds.
Totally. And she you know because she designs them.
Wispies all day.
So on the other end of that spectrum is what are the items then that you tend to splurge on? Like what are the higher ticket items that you feel make a real difference in application and in the way it actually achieves it or performs on the skin?
I mean, I think skincare number one. You know, it's like if you take care of what's under your makeup, it kind of like you said, it reflects what's underneath. You know, like your makeup will be like transparent in a way, right? Because your skin it feels good, it looks good, it's hydrated. So skincare, I think, is number one to splurge on. Like good moisturizer, good cleanser. What else? Good concealer, foundation. Yeah.
What's your go-to concealer? And I asked this actually somewhat selfishly. And then also I have found that with concealers, I love concealers, but really the eye brighteners seem to oftentimes achieve more of the look that you are trying to create with the concealer. So,
brightening?
Yeah, the brightening. So
Yeah.
what do you
'Cause I
choose
feel
over
like
concealer
brighteners,
versus
they have like a
brighteners for
pinkier
under eyes?
undertone. So it'll cancel out any like, you know, like redness or like purpley undertones under your eyes. I really love Charlotte Tilbury's concealer pen, or like the Saint Laurent, like what's it called, Touche Eclat. All those brightening pens are really good. Because there's like reflector in it, you know, anything with like a little pearl for brightening reflects the light, so you just look like really refreshed and bright.
Right, right.
Oh, well, for me, I think what I splurge on the most is also skincare. I think we'll probably all agree. I don't want to speak for you, but I think that's a number one thing. I tend to splurge a lot on serums. They feel so good. I like want to wear them all over my body. I wish I could afford that.
Yeah, right.
And other than skincare, I think foundations and yes, concealer. It's just like, I think, well, I'm more about like the face than like doing something big on my eyes. So I'm just like, okay, maybe shadows tend to take like a second place. And now that you were saying like concealers, favorite concealers, I'm obsessed with the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know, I always
what?
grab
I'm
it.
sorry.
The Tarte Shape Tape.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, I always
I
grab
haven't
it.
tried that. I need to get
You
it.
have it? Oh my gosh, and it's so big. I feel like all my concealers ran out, and then that one's still there. I'm like, how? I wear it like every day. It's really good.
The three things I would splurge on, the first thing is definitely Mandelic Serum. So if you don't know what this is, you guys Google it, because I've been using it for the last, I want to say 6 weeks, and the tone of my skin has just changed. It like tightens your skin. In fact, if you want one, I'm not like sponsored by them or anything. You can even email me and I'll loop in the girl that I got it from. My email is Lauren at The Skinny Confidential, simple. And it just really tightens and like promotes collagen. So I love Mandelic Serum. I'm gonna do a whole blog post on it. I think it's just an amazing way to end the night and start the day. Another thing that I really like is IT Cosmetics CC Cream. It's insane. I don't like it sometimes at night because the flash, we talked about this last night, can bounce off your face. But for the day, the CC Cream just creates this really pretty, dewy, fresh Kim K glow. And I like the illuminator, but I also like the other one. And I mix that with my caffeinated sunscreen, and I'm good to go. The other thing that I would probably splurge on is Charlotte, how do you say it? Tilbury. Wonder Glow. Wonder Glow is like this super pretty glow, and I put it on my chest for like a boob glow.
It's good under your makeup too, under your foundation.
See? So I like the Wonder Glow. Check that out.
I feel like a lot of in skincare, hyaluronic acid is really big right now. So you can like, it used to be really expensive, but I feel like there's more like lower like price brands that's integrating that ingredient into the products, which I think is an amazing product. I have really sensitive skin, and I started using a serum that was gifted to me. I don't even know the brand. I get like tons and tons of stuff sent, but I'm always like trying like the skincare, and that's the one like I didn't break out. So I was like, oh, I finally have found something I really like.
You know,
but that was like the main ingredient. It was like all around this like hyaluronic acid in it.
Sure. Yeah, hyaluronic acid I feel like is one of those ingredients that's so universal, right? Because it works really well for an oily skin to be a hydrator.
And I have dry skin.
And as the dry skin, it's a great boost to your moisturize without any irritation. So I think by nature we tend to be snoopy and are interested in what people are using for their own personal use. And so when it comes to your own personal, bag, your purse, what items do you always keep handy that you apply to yourself?
Oh, in my bag right now, if I were to like get it, I have my lipstick, I have bronzer because I contour my nose and like my cheeks. So if I'm like drinking or sweating, I always want to make sure my nose is contoured. So I keep that in my bag, and the Charlotte Tilbury concealer pen for touch-ups throughout the day. Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes I just have to say, I feel like concealer is a really great touch-up. People tend to use like a powder or something for a touch-up, and that tends to get really heavy on your skin. Whereas a concealer will just get that little dab, and you get that great flawless look again without having to apply full face
And
makeup.
I have dry skin, so I don't really use powder because it just kind of makes me feel really tight.
Yeah.
Like I have to like fake the oil, you know, like I have to look oily. So I leave kind of everything without. I don't really set anything with powder.
I'm the same. I have to fake oil. It's so funny. And I wanted to second the CC cream from IT Cosmetics. It's so good. I'm wearing it now. It's so good. Oh, thanks. For me, like my must-have products right now, like what I'm using, it's so hard to say. I feel like I change it up so much. But a bronzer. What is the word? A bronzer I am obsessed with, and I feel like I will always be obsessed with, is the Hoola bronzer. I feel like the shade
It's
is
such a
just
classic. It's like a good universal shade from light to dark skin tones. It shows up and it's like, it's not too orange, so it's like a really good like brownie like color that you can contour and bronze with.
I know, it's so beautiful, and I always feel like exactly it's good for every skin tone. So I love to recommend it because it's hard. Sometimes people will ask me, "Oh, what's the right one for my skin?" I'm like, Hoola.
It's definitely a classic.
Yeah.
Right, because one person's miracle cream is another person's nightmare. So it truly is finding the right products for your individual skin types and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Lauren, how about you?
What's in your makeup bag? I mean your purse.
It's the stuff that's in my purse is so weird and
AKA?
random. Like I feel like it's not like a lipstick. It's like I went to Rite Aid and got this little tiny spray bottle, and then do you guys know what Copper Tone Banana Boat's tanning spray is? Does everyone know what I'm talking about? I feel like you
Is
guys
it like the
don't.
aerosol one?
You like spray it. Okay,
know
so I
exactly
put
what
it
that
in a
is.
little tiny bottle, and I spray it all over my skin, and it gives you this like perfect beachy smell, like you just got off the beach, even though you didn't. And you just spray it all over, and it gives you like a really pretty glow. I also have Egyptian musk oil in my purse. It's like $18 off Amazon. Carolyn Bessette Kennedy wore it, and it's this really beautiful masculine scent that I just think smells really good on skin tones, and it's tiny, and I throw that in my bag. And then another thing I throw in my bag is MAC Fix. It's like a setting spray, or you can use it like before, but I broke up a highlighter and put it in the MAC Fix. So when I spray it on my face, I get like a super sheer highlight over the face. Those three things and maybe an eyebrow brush, and I'm like good to go.
Eye drops too. Like I'm so addicted to eye drops. Like I love my eyes being white. So that's one thing I like do not leave. Like it's always in my bag.
That's interesting.
Eye drops.
So tell us what techniques you feel like really helps you to achieve a great look. So when it comes to the products, that's always a helpful tool. But I do think there's a level of performance that has to come with the products or correct application. What are some of those tips that you could pass on?
I mean, it also comes down to like the application portion of applying the products. So it's like, you know, really good brushes, really good applicators. I love Japanese handmade brushes. I feel like they're the best brushes out there because they're not, it's, the cuticle is still natural. Like it's not cut like a machine. It's like hair extensions. I can't explain it, but like all the cuticles go in the same direction. It's not like machine made. So it's like everything blends really nicely. And then, you know, there's like the beauty blenders out there that's also really good because you use them wet. And so it kind of like really just, it takes down like creams and like really high pigmented things, so it really melts into the skin as you like work. Yeah. So I feel like blend. That's the best way, you know, to get a really nice flawless look.
Yeah, I also feel like sometimes the way you work the product in, and there's amazing brushes, and I think everybody swears by our beauty blenders, but at least for me personally, sometimes I just feel like my fingers are really the best way. I'll try my beauty blender, especially with concealer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I just need to like really work it in,
Yeah.
and sometimes I feel like time is your best friend, you know, because you're just like, you just need a little bit of time to just work your product in, blend it in really well, and you could tell when you just sit down and you have, you're just maybe jamming and doing your makeup, having fun. I feel like it looks better than when you're just rushing out the house. You're like, oh, what happened here? I have like this streak down my face. So yeah.
I think that the Beauty Blender Wet is like a godsend. It's amazing. Like you said, applying it a little bit, like a little damp, is amazing. I think putting white eyeliner in the inner corners of your eyes and the upper is a surefire way to brighten your eyes right away, and that's going to make your teeth look whiter too. So immediately your teeth look whiter, your eyes look brighter. Another one is like a nude.
Sorry, there's what appears to be a bug
Oh, it's a
flying
bee.
through.
Michael, kill it.
But it looks like a bird.
He wants some beauty tricks.
He wants to hear about makeup.
Yeah, right.
Or like a nude liner in your eye is really nice too during the day. It's kind of soft. I'm not a big fan of a lot of eyeliner. For me, it weighs down my eyes. So I do like a nude or a white pencil.
I feel like also always start light. It's easier to build than to take down.
Sure.
So that's also like, a good tip to get a flawless application is to just start light.
Yeah. So when it comes to your own personal blogs or work with companies like Refinery 29,
Revolve clothing.
Revolve is, what are your most popular videos, most popular blog posts that you find?
Well, for me, it's different because I come from a pro side, and then for my own brand, like my own face, it's like through my Instagram. I get, what was it again? The most what? I'm sorry?
Most popular.
Oh, it's always like a selfie, I guess, because people always want to know about like what skincare do I use, 2, how do I do my eyebrows, and 3, like what lip color am I wearing, whether it's like my nude lip or I only wear 2 tones of lips, like a pinky nude or orangey red or true red, but mostly it's this one. Oh, also, I feel like a lot of my followers engage when I actually show like behind the scenes with a client. So I think they like that. They want to know like the person behind doing, applying like the makeup on someone else that they follow. So like my best friend Jules, huge blogger. Like every time we work together, or like I post her or she posts me, like I get the most engagement because she doesn't really, she's not a beauty blogger. It's like strictly fashion. And that's something like people want to know, like what's her secrets, like who does her makeup. So I think that they really engage like with the artist behind, like someone who is really at a face of their own, their brand or, yeah.
So for me, I think what you're saying is so important, kind of like that personal connection. So I did start creating beauty, and there's one of my channels is completely dedicated to beauty. So I think I can kind of see a big difference in that. And like, for example, my Instagram, where I share a lot of my personal life. So when it's like speaking completely about beauty, something I think people find really interesting is like do's and don'ts, because they're like, at least I realize this happens to me as well. It's like, oh my God, I'm doing it all wrong. Whoops. And it's a really easy way to learn. I mean, I feel like attention span is like shorter and shorter every day. You don't want to sit down and watch like a 20-minute tutorial. You just want to be like 3 minutes and I learned everything. I'm good to go. But like, you also want to make that personal connection, and like with your friend, like they want to know what's happening with her life. So if you can like
be in the know. I mean, I also get a lot of engagement when I travel, because if people like want to live through your little 2x2 little square on Instagram. So I know a lot of people don't get opportunity to travel, so I feel like they want to see what else is out there in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess kind of balance it with personal
I feel like, travel
tips.
photos are always good.
The things that do best on the Skinny Confidential are super niched down beauty wellness. So something that's done really well on my blog is how to shave your face with a men's razor, and it's amazing. If you haven't tried it, go steal your boyfriend's razor and shave your whole face. There's like a whole tutorial on my blog that did really well. Stuff like steaming, whether it's like vagina steaming or face steaming, does really well. Like it's that niched down beauty that's not super broad or general.
Interesting.
Have you tried Dermaflash?
What?
Have you tried Dermaflash for the
Dermaflash.
Is
no.
that the roller?
No, that is not the roller.
I'm
That
thinking of
is
something
for essentially removing all the vellus hair.
Dermaplane?
Yeah, Dermaflash.
I call it Dermaplane, but yes,
Yeah,
I just did it
dermaplaning
yesterday.
is the name that they call it in the in the medical facility, but Dermaflash is a brand name that actually has a
Oh, I
razor.
didn't know that.
Specifically, they say like women flash, men shave, but you can do it's a different technique of trying to remove any type of hair and the dead skin cells too.
That also helps your makeup lay really well when your face is completely exfoliated. And I looked in the mirror before and I'm like, I don't have a lot of hair on my face. It wasn't like I had, a full mustache. I mean, I had a little mustache, I'm not gonna lie. The hair like gets in the way of the makeup, even if it's tiny little blonde hair, just get rid of it. And it just really creates this beautiful palette for your sunscreen and your primer and your foundation to lay. Shavy shave.
Or I have a lot of clients that
The
laser.
whole thing.
get,
Not
like,
I
my
agree with that, too.
eyebrows,
Hair
obviously.
lasered off.
Yes, and I would start with this thing called a Tinkle. It's Tinkle. It's on Amazon. It's like $6. It's this little tiny shaver, and what you can do is you can really get in there so you're not like shaving your eyebrows off. I feel bad for all the guys that are in here. I'm sorry, guys. You gotta learn this someday, though. Yes, it's like different colors. Yeah, it's really great. It's super easy to use. You shave right here, you shave right here. I mean, I don't really shave my nose, I guess. But yeah, and Michael reminds me when it's time to shave my mustache, like he'll say we're in the sun and it's like, glittering with like perspiration, and he'll say it's time to wash, it's time to shave. So I actually didn't steam my vagina on video, although I would be open to it if there was like a sheet. I posted about it, and there's lots of places you can go in LA, and it's basically just like a clean out. And it's actually very zen and almost like romantic the way they do it. It's nothing like invasive. It's not like a bikini wax. Totally.
I feel like a lot of like
Totally,
Asian spas does it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, Lauren, I'll let you take this away. What do you have up and coming? What are you going to be posting about soon? What videos do you have on the docket?
Up and coming is the Skinny Confidential started as health and fitness oriented, and now it's turned into, I hate the word lifestyle, but it's like, it kind of is lifestyle-y, but it's also uncensored. Like, I talk about Botox. I did like 3 posts on Botox. I talk about my boob jobs. I'm very open with my audience. It's a community. I'm not, I can't show my outfit every single day and just give you guys like outfit deets. That's just not me. It's like I have to really provide value to the community. So what's coming up is just more posts that the reader will be able to walk away with and use on themselves. That's not mainly just about me, if that makes sense.
Well, a month ago we launched our lip kit lines, and they're sold out right now. But hopefully, what's coming up is restocking them, and I hope to do more products. It's been so fun, and I can't wait for your products to come out. And just kind of continuing, I really love creating just videos in general, and I've been so busy kind of with the lip kits. They've been a lot of work, really fun. They've gotten so many great reviews, but I don't ever want to step away from like creating content on like my social. So hopefully balancing all of that, I think, is what's coming for me.
For me, I plan to go on a vacation soon, so yes, I will be posting from a destination. I also don't post as much as I should, so I told myself like I'm gonna post more. I mean, it's because it's hard for me. Like I don't like premeditating, pre-planning. Like I post. Like I love organic content. Like wherever I am, like if I'm with my friends eating, or I'm at the beach, or wherever I am, or on set. Like I just take random things, and then I just, I don't really plan, but I do. My plan is to create more content and post more.
That's your overall goal. Where do you tend to, this is a question for all of you, you can take it off, is where do you tend to have the most engagement, and where do you tend to put most of your activity on?
For me, like as far as the social media platform,
Yeah,
I
social media
just
blog
use
or YouTube.
Instagram. That's it.
Definitely Snapchat and our podcast. Snapchat has been like this really cool thing for my brand because it's allowed the audience to come behind the scenes with me and see my life in a way it's not made up, it's not all glamorous, there's no facade, it's very open. I respond to every single message on Snapchat, so it's like kind of like I'm texting my readership, which is really cool. And I'm very engaged on there. I think a lot of people have jumped ship off Snapchat. And I think that's a mistake because I think if you have one person watching on Snapchat, you should just be grateful for that one person's attention and you shouldn't just jump ship to Instagram stories. So I'm using both platforms. I do feel like I'm more open on Snapchat just because it's like, I just feel like there's no filter. Well, there's a filter. There's a lot of good filters, but you guys know what I mean. And then our podcast. I podcast with my husband and we talk everything about branding and business and, listener call-ins. We just interviewed the Fat Jewish, which was hysterical. Go listen. He talks about Kanye West's first time trying wasabi peas. It's amazing. And the podcast has just been a really good way to have like this streamlined connection with the audience and the community where they can call in and we can talk to them and just continue to provide that value. So definitely the podcast and Snapchat.
I feel so guilty right now. I totally jumped shipped. I totally abandoned Snapchat. I do. So, well, like I was saying, I feel like I'm on every single social media except for Snapchat. I feel completely guilty. And the filters are amazing there. Sometimes I'll steal them and just post them on Insta stories. I'm like the worst person. Yeah. So for me,
you do have to kind of moderate because you can't be everywhere all the time.
That's what I was
right?
gonna
So you
say.
do need to choose what is your specialty and where you see the most engagement with the people you're trying to connect with.
right, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. So for me, like it's so like almost 13 million people. And I'm like, I don't want to annoy them. And it's hard for me to keep up on every single social media. And there's a point where I'm like, well, I'm saying the exact same thing. I feel like I'm boring. But for the platform where I feel like I connect the most, even though it's not like the one with the most amount of followers, I also feel like it's Instagram. And I think it's just because it's like the most fun for me. I just enjoy following other people. I enjoy commenting back. I enjoy my Insta stories. And I just feel like people kind of can tell that's what you're like. And it's a lot faster, for like a YouTube video, it takes like a lot of planning and a lot of like editing, this and that. And Instagram picture, it's just like, you snap it. You do some editing. I mean, it's not like you don't edit that, but still, it's faster.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to start a YouTube channel, like for my fans mostly, my followers, because that's something that they like have been asking me. It's like, Jade, like, where is your YouTube channel? I'm just like, I just do it for other companies, other brands. I'm just featured. I like show up, do the thing, and leave. But I think that's something that I really want to give back is what they are asking of me, and it is a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So might be coming. So
Stay tuned.
if you guys will watch, I will make one. But
I think it's good though. You also post, like you said, with other companies. So you're with Revolve, and so that's where they can also watch your videos.
For Ardell Beauty, I
Yeah.
just filmed like 66 videos with them in a span of a week. But again, it was amazing because I was just in front of the camera and then I got to dip out.
yeah, exactly. It works well.
But there's so much work that I know that goes behind like the full circle, like from beginning to end. And that's something that I would love tips on and tricks on, but because that's a world I don't know. I just know being in the front.
So now I'm turning the tables a little bit. Who do you all like to follow, and who are you looking at for an aspirational, person or a like-minded person that you work with via social media?
Go ahead. I love following fashion blogs, beauty blogs. I also like following like personal Instagrams of like fashion magazine editors, like Christine Centenera. She's like the editor of Vogue Australia. I love her Instagram. Like it's just like it gives you like a look into like her life as a creative director. I think she has really cool style. I also like rappers' Instagrams. Like A$AP Rocky's Instagram is my favorite. I think it's so well planned. Like, because for me, I look at Instagram, the squares as a whole, like not per square. I look at it as like, when you click on your page, like the whole collage. And his like A$AP Rocky's Instagram is really cool. You guys should check it out. It's very artsy and like fashion forward.
I'm trying to think because for me it's so hard. I feel like I follow so many people, and it's not like, oh, I only follow beauty, I only follow fashion. I literally follow everything. Sometimes I'm on my page on my Instagram, I'm like, what? When did I start following this person? It's like only pictures of puppies. Although who doesn't want to follow puppies? But I think I love following just like I love those little really quick makeup tutorials. So I love like Kristen Dominique, Jackie Aina. They're like just beauty influencers. I love Chiara Ferragni for fashion. She's like so beautiful. And what I love about
Worked
her,
with her before.
oh my god,
Yeah.
I love her. Like
She's
she
really
looks
cool.
so like her personality just seems so fun, you know.
Yeah. She's a good example of like the no makeup look. Yeah, right. Yeah. She
Yeah,
loves
she
like
just
just the
looks casual.
lashes and like a really nice pinky tone lip. That's her thing. She's all about the lashes.
It is, and like full lash.
Yeah.
I have a side of me that's like, I always say like it's like masculine energy, and I am really attracted to business strategy, and that's how I run my blog as a business. So I really, really like listening to people like Tim Ferriss, Joe Rogan, Gary Vee. I listen to their podcasts every day. I consume their content because I feel like they're really strategic with their business, and I'm playing a long game with the Skinny Confidential. So to listen to people like that just really inspires me. I also like the Bitch Bible. If you guys haven't listened to her, she is a friend of mine, and she's hysterical. She's funny. She just gets it, and so I love following her on all platforms because she's constantly making me laugh, and I think she's really witty and smart.
So when we see all these different trends that are out there, what is the one trend, one thing you wish would go away that people stop asking about, that you stop seeing, that you don't think is true and really works the way it is proposed?
I mean, maybe not a trend, but you know, I feel like a mistake that a lot of women make with makeup is just like over applying, like over caked, like too matte. You know, where you just like have no dimension in your face. It just looks flat. But that's one thing I think, you know, people need to get out of is like that just overly like caked on like look. Like, or you know, they just like focus on everything. Like heavy eye, lashes, and bold brow, and lips, and gloss. And it's just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you choose to focus on one area
And
of the
one,
face,
yeah.
eyes,
Just,
lips.
eyes or, you know, or a pop of color on the lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you're saying it, I really want, I guess, Instagram makeup to die. Because that's pretty much trends. Like
I didn't want to say
very
that,
heavy.
but that's where I was going.
Yeah, I said it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so heavy, and I feel like it looks so beautiful in pictures, but
But in person,
person,
and
it-
I've seen a lot like that in person.
yeah, it doesn't work that well. And also, I feel like it creates almost like not real, something that's not real. So I meet a lot of girls, and they're like, "Oh, well, so and so looks so perfect," and you're like, "No, that's a filter. It's just not." So I feel like it's very hard for people that are looking at this, and then they believe that it's something that they can achieve, and it's really not. I mean, it doesn't matter if you put on like pounds of foundation, your skin is never gonna look that flawless because it's a filter, you know? So you have to like work with your face, you have to work with like your skin type and try to make it look like it's beautiful with what you're working with, you know?
Yeah.
Not something that's like almost like a doll or
Yeah,
a
you want to like
mannequin.
enhance your beauty, not like
Right.
conceal it. So.
And then also to the same point, almost like everybody starts looking the same. It's like the same lash, the same style of contour, even
Yeah.
if it's not what's best for like their like their skin type or like their shape.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page with that one.
I hate eyeshadow. On me. I don't like eyeshadow. I never wear it. It just isn't my thing. Right now, what I do is I do concealer on the eyelid because I like that fresh, bright white eye. And then I'll take like Studio Fix powder from MAC and contour the eye with it. Or like,
Yeah, I always sweep bronzer across the lids.
yes, bronzer,
Yeah.
totally. So
That's an interesting concept. Sorry to interrupt you, Lauren, but the whole contouring your eyes, that is a really interesting way to approach it versus always contouring the planes of your face.
yeah, I mean, I focus on my bone structure. I think for me with makeup, like I'm all about bone structure. And I think if I did like a smoky eye, it would just look too much. So whenever I get my makeup done or I do my makeup myself, I never, ever, ever use eyeshadow. And then something that I wish everyone would do is wash your makeup off at night. And what I do is I order, if I'm traveling, I order olive oil from room service and literally throw it all over my face, and it wipes your makeup off. So it's so easy. It takes like 5 seconds. I don't like the wipes because it's really tearing on your skin. I love to remove my makeup with oils. So if you're getting in bed and you have makeup on, think about just getting up and removing it really quick because it's so bad for your skin to sleep in it.
Okay, we have 5 minutes to wrap up questions.
I don't like makeup wipes.
The question was, do you like any makeup wipes?
I don't like makeup wipes. I'm all about skin. Skin is so important to me, and I just feel like when you're pulling downward on your skin, it's gonna pull that skin down, and I'm all about pulling the skin up. And even if you push it up, you're also, this is crazy, guys. Don't think I'm crazy, but you're like pushing up the wrinkles under your eyes too. I just feel like, why not remove it with oil in this really moisturizing, natural way, and you're also moisturizing the skin at once. Do I wipe off okay, so I put the oil on my face, all over my face. Say it's grapeseed oil from the grocery store. Not that I do that, but I do. It's grapeseed oil, put it all over my face, wash my face with like water or like a light cleanser, and then dry my face and then put the oil back on and sleep in the oil. So what it's doing overnight is it's filling in those fine lines and wrinkles, and I'm gonna say this 100 times, I really think it's like the biggest anti-aging secret. I bring it all the way down to my neck. I feel like a lot of people forget about their neck, and then I rub it all over my hands, like the extra oil, and let it sink into my hands as well. So like you're getting oil in all the spots where we show age as we get older, which is the hands, the neck, the chest, the face.
I love makeup wipes. I think because I come from like a pro side, so we always need wipes because you never know if like a client comes in and she has makeup, and a lot of people do that. I always wondered why. Like some models come in before a shoot and you're like, why do you have makeup on? You just went from the house at 7 a.m. to like the studio. So I have to like take it off, right away. They don't have time to like go to the bathroom and wash their face, so I always have wipes. There's a lot of cool wipes out there now where they're doing like micellar wipes, because micellar water is, I don't know if I'm saying it right, maybe not. Anyways, micellar water is like a really good gentle cleanser, and it gets everything off. Like they sell it in bottles where you could just use like a little cotton round, or now it's in wipes form. Yeah, but Neutrogena wipes are my favorite. Yeah, the blue pack. Takes
We have a
everything
question.
off.
The question was, when you put oil on your face, is it getting your hair for the next day?
Sometimes it can do that, but I do this thing called a sleep bun, where I like wrap my hair in a alligator dry bar clip and do like a low bun. And then sometimes I'll put, if I feel like it's gonna get oily in my hair and I need to like do something the next day that's really important, like be in front of the camera or something, I'll take those vintage like 80s headbands. Do you know what I'm talking about? That I don't even know what they're called. Do you guys know what I mean? Like those vintage headbands we all wore in the early 90s. I'll take one of those and put it like at the base and then put the oil all over my face and just sleep in that.
I mean, you can always just wash your hairline in the morning, your bangs, if it gets oily.
Is there any other questions? Go for it.
Not for your face, it clogs your pores.
The question was coconut oil for everyone else to hear.
Love coconut oil, love it all over my body, but not on your face. And rosehip is an amazing oil for the face. So, and you look great, so I'm not surprised. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? I know my mic turned off.
Wait, I just want to repeat the question so everyone can hear. Was about what do you use because everyone has great skin and no breakouts. So it's specifically about breakouts, right? If you follow anything.
When I break out, I always get just like it's just one big pimple, like especially around, that time of the month, and it's always in the center of my face because I have dry skin, but I feel like that it's always around that time where I get oily, so it's always like on my forehead, like my nose or my chin. Like I have one now because I'm like getting over it, but it's always in the center, but that's where I break out. And I drink a lot. I drink lots and lots of water, and for me that is like really important to stay hydrated. My skin is just so dry, so it just drinks up all that moisture for it to stay this way. But if I don't, then it's not good. I also only break out when I eat things that I'm allergic to, like shellfish, but I eat it anyway, and I just take a Benadryl. So those are the only times I break out.
I think dry skin is really good in the sense that you don't break out as much. But for me, because I have really dry skin too, whenever I have any sort of breakouts, I just try and treat it immediately. When one of that, I feel like it's Neutrogena. It's just like this really cheap, you could get it at the CVS, and it's just like on the spot, I think it's called. It's like this white thing. You just put it on a little bit, and I feel like it helps you at night. And when you wake up, it's just like a little bit better, like a little spot treatment. Yeah, and I feel like it just try and get it done as soon as you can, instead of like letting it, live. And I try not to put any makeup over it if it's like right there like red. Just treat it first, because I feel like makeup actually makes it worse, at least for me.
I break out all the time. I mean, I break out all the time. Right now, I'm not breaking out. I was breaking out yesterday a little bit. I think my 3 tips to breakouts are so simple and straight to the point. And those 3 tips are, there's this Larisat cream. It's from Sweden. You can order it on Amazon. It's 2 ingredients. It's water and clay. There's something about this clay that's from Sweden that pulls the impurities out of your skin. I put that on a zit, and the next morning it's gone. It's called Larisat, you guys. I'm telling you, it's the best thing I've ever tried. It's so simple. It's ugly gray color. You spot treat it. You go to bed. You wake up. The other thing I would say is during the day before you apply makeup, put tea tree oil, back to the oils again, on that spot, and then put your makeup on, because that's going to really help with the pimple and the bacteria. And then lastly is just one of those blackhead poppers from Rite Aid. Don't pop the skin with your fingernails or even a tissue. Use those blackhead poppers. Just make sure that you wash it after every single use. It's like $3. And honestly, those 3 tips I just said are all under $10, and that's how I treat every single breakout I ever have. And I'm telling you, I do get pimples a lot. Right now, I don't have them, but I get some interesting ones.
I mean, also number 1, always take your makeup off. Like, no matter what, whether you're like drunk, have a hangover, I don't care. Like, you have to take your makeup off. Like, do not sleep with it. That's for me. Like, if I didn't wash my face and I was like out partying, that's when I like wake up and I'm like, I'm screwed. What do I do now? Great. So that's when I learned to like always, no matter what, take your makeup off, even if you're so lazy and like don't want to crawl out of bed. Then use the makeup wipe, but just get it off. Yeah, but that's really important. Take the makeup off.
Yeah, there's one more question back there.
My question, have any of you girls tried a lip plumper, a topical lip plumper, and what are your thoughts on any of them work?
So the question was about lip plumpers. Have you tried them, and do they work?
Oh, well, I've tried them, and I think they work, but at least for me, it felt very weird and very foreign. I was like, oh, get this off. But I'm not very good at like feeling like, because it was very tingly, and I was like, But I actually saw a big difference. The one I tried was like, I think it's called Pillow Plump by Soap and Glory. And I thought it was really good. It's just like, you have to get used to like it's almost like, tingly. It's a tingly sensation. But, I mean, it's good.
Yeah, I've tried some back in the day. Too Faced lip injections was like a really popular lip gloss, and then there was one by MAC used to make a lip gloss already that was mixed, that had the lip plumper mixed in. So it was like double benefit. You get the color and you get like a plumping look. But honestly, I feel like it doesn't specifically need to say like plumping in it. If you're wearing gloss, like a nude one, your lips automatically look more luscious, especially like in the center of your lips. So if you just put like even a clear lip gloss, but not necessarily it says lip plumping in it, your lips are already gonna look fuller in photos, for sure.
There's this one by Lip Fusion, but it's the XXL one, and it's a black bottle. It's $60, which is pricey, but it is worth it. It really makes your lip tingle a lot. I love that sensation. I like intense, if you can't tell. So I'll put that all over my lips, and then what I'll do is I'll take a nude eyeliner, and I'll put it at the M of the top of my lip. So you just want to trace the M. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring the nude to the center of the lip, which is going to give you that plump. So it's just like right here, like that little dip in your lip, outline that kind of, and then I take a little bit of highlighter and just put it in the middle of my bottom lip, and I feel like that makes your lips look a lot bigger.
But there's some, there are a lot of lip plumping glosses out there that don't tingle. Just go to like Sephora. If you're from LA, like Nigel's and Amy's are great stores with really good selections. But yeah, there's some lip plumping glosses out there without the tingling sensation.
Well, we want to thank you all for attending this panel. And if you have any questions, everyone is here and able to answer any questions that you have. And of course, follow them all on social media. So thank you so much. On behalf of New Beauty, we thank you and look forward to talking to you.
Thank you guys for listening to us.